The shortest way to annoy a Scot is to say that they're English. Now, English is the main language of the United Kingdom, and the Kingdom consists of four different territories. There's Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, and England itself. The passport of the United Kingdom says the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. Great Britain is the landmass, the continuous landmass, and that includes England, Scotland, and Wales. And Northern Ireland is the territory that was left after the separation of Eyre, or Southern Ireland, and Northern Ireland. The history is not very appealing. Edward I, who was the King of England, conquered Wales in 1277 to 1283. In that period, he devastated the north of Wales and also started the process of building the castles that remain and are so significant a part of the history and heritage of Wales. The castles were necessary because the Welsh didn't want to be conquered by the English. He is also known as the Hammer of the Scots because he went up into Scotland on a campaign where he was successful in beating Scottish armies. However, Scotland remained independent and a separate country until much later. When Elizabeth I of England, who we've met before, she is the famous queen at the time of the Spanish Armada, when she died, the crown of England went to James VI of Scotland, who subsequently became James I of England and Scotland, and that was the union of the two crowns of Scotland and England, and included in England was England and Wales. But there continued to be separate institutions in the two countries, and they also had a different idea of polity and language and culture. The history of England's relationship with Scotland was always a difficult one, and for that reason, the Scottish people, be careful that you do not call them Scotch. Scotch is a drink. Scottish people can often seem antipathetic to the English. They refer to people south of the border as Sassenachs. Now, it is very insulting to a Scot to call them English. The same goes for Welsh people. They have their own languages. In Wales, there is Welsh, which is spoken more in the north than in the south, but is still a language that is spoken, and they have their own television stations, for example, in Welsh. And then in Scotland, there are three languages. There's English, there's Gaelic, which is similar to the Gaelic of Ireland, and is spoken mostly in the northwest. And then there is Scots. Scots is a kind of hybrid language, if you like. It's very difficult to understand Scots. It's impossible to understand Gaelic or Welsh unless you've studied the languages. Northern Ireland is different. Oliver Cromwell, who succeeded as the Lord Protector after beheading Charles I of England, mounted a devastating campaign in Ireland, which had always been subject to raids by English colonists. And the Irish still remember some of the massacres that his troops took part in the early 1650s. Drogheda, for example. The major difference between Ireland and Scotland and Wales with relation to the English is that Southern Ireland was always Catholic. Northern Ireland was more Protestant because of the close connection with Scotland. If you think that recently there have been ideas of building a bridge between Northern Ireland and Scotland, you realise that the fact that Ireland looks like one thing on the map seems to make you think that it would be one thing, but in fact the cultural and historic connections between Northern Ireland and Scotland go right back to the Middle Ages and beyond. The Vikings that raided and settled in Northern Ireland were the same as the Vikings that raided and settled in Scotland. So let's summarize. The United Kingdom consists of 4 nations. It does not include Southern Ireland or Éire. It includes the 3 countries in Great Britain, great meaning big, not meaning the best. So Great Britain includes Scotland, Wales, and England. And it also includes Northern Ireland, which is a part of the island of Ireland, which is divided into 2 territories, Northern Ireland being part of the United Kingdom and Éire being an independent country. I hope that clears some things up. For your purposes, really important when you're speaking to somebody from the British Isles or from the UK, not to refer to them as English, because that is not the case, but you can refer to them as British. That's perfectly okay. Or you can take the trouble to find out if they are English, Scottish, Welsh, or Irish. I certainly think that Welsh and Scottish people appreciate recognition of their nationalities. English people don't really care.